Welcome to today's Explainer. आज की इस presentation में and today's presentation, we're diving into a cosmic event that has a whole lot of people talking. We're going to break down the recent insights from Astrologer Hammad regarding an incoming major cosmic shift. You see, according to his analysis, the lunar eclipse on August 28th, it's not just another date on the calendar. It's a massive astrological phenomenon. So whether you follow astrology religiously or you're just kind of curious about what the stars might be signaling right now, we are going to unpack exactly what Zodiac is predicting for this specific event. Let's get right into it. Here's a quick look at our agenda. First, we'll look at the eclipse itself. Then we'll break down the impact on the first 6 zodiacs, followed by the remaining 6. After that, we'll go over some crucial warnings specifically for women. And finally, how to find your protective umbrella. And don't worry, we are going to cover every single zodiac sign so you can see exactly where this cosmic storm might make landfall for you. All right, part 1, the August 28th lunar eclipse. So Zodiac doesn't just frame the state as your standard run-of-the-mill astronomical event. He is actually calling it an unprecedented shift in human destiny. He suggests that the alignment of the stars here carries this unusual, heavy weight that's capable of altering the trajectory of individual lives. But why? Well, to understand why this is considered so monumental, we have to look at this high-impact statistic right here. 5 hours and 38 minutes. Yep, seems that this massive, unusually long duration is exactly what makes this the most impactful lunar eclipse to date. It's a prolonged exposure to shifting cosmic energies. And according to his reading, that sheer length is going to seriously intensify the effects on every single astrological chart out there. Okay, moving on to part 2, the impact on the first 6 zodiacs. Let's go ahead and dive into the impact zones, and we'll move through these pretty quickly. Starting with Aries or Hamal, ends of a really frustrating period of unfulfilled desires. You might see clashes with friends, rising debts, and this exhausting cycle of moving from one illness straight into another. Now moving to Taurus or Saur, the focus shifts to professional instability. Expect an unpredictable career path, some personal mood swings, and honestly, the very real possibility of seeing a promotion that you worked for handed to someone else. For Gemini or Jauza, the forecast points to sudden obstacles at work, maybe a loss of interest in your spiritual routines, and some super frustrating delays if you happen to have any foreign travel planned. Now, we actually need to slow down here for a second because there is a highly sensitive warning regarding Cancer, or Saratan. Because the moon is the ruling planet of Cancer, and, well, the moon is what's being eclipsed, Zodiac states that Cancer signs are absolutely the most vulnerable of all. He warns they are highly susceptible to the evil eye, negative energies, and severe disputes with in-laws. In fact, his advice is so strict here that he recommends Cancers don't even leave the house without first giving sadaqah or charity, just as a baseline form of spiritual protection. All right, picking back up. For Leo or Asad, the focus of this eclipse hits squarely on relationships and finances. Zodiac predicts potential delays in pending marriages, or for those of you who are already married, a heightened risk of breakups due to the sudden involvement of a third party. And alongside those relationship hurdles, Leo should also brace for some persistent income issues and challenges in business partnerships. For Virgo or Sunbula, Zodiac outlines something we can call the rule of 5. He points to 5 very distinct, anomalous fields where Virgos are predicted to face compounded problems during this eclipse. These are health, debt, disease, issues with servants or subordinates, and turbulence in your jobs or service industries. It's a highly specific cluster of vulnerabilities, so if you're a Virgo, you really need to actively monitor these 5 areas. Let's move on to part 3, the impact on the remaining 6 zodiacs. If we haven't hit your sign yet, pay close attention, because these cosmic forecasts get incredibly specific. Let's see how this builds for the next 3. For Libra or Mizan, the threats are both financial and social. We're talking severe overspending, potential rejection or disgrace in romantic relationships, and basically a general waste of both time and money. For Scorpio or Aqrab, the warnings turn more domestic. Zodiac cautions against real estate fraud, delays in home construction, broken household items, and he strongly advises keeping a very close eye on your mother's health. For Sagittarius or Qaus, the forecast is pretty harsh. Useless hard work, clashes with cousins, and the very real threat of financial ruin brought on by having to pay off the debts of your siblings. Continuing on to Capricorn or Jaddi, you need to think really carefully before speaking right now. The goal is to avoid massive family fights over inheritance, which could honestly lead to draining your long-held savings. Aquarius or Dalw is predicted to face severe mental stress, irritability, and a dangerous slide into complete isolation. And finally, for Pisces or Hoot, we have to emphasize a very dire warning from the source material. Zanjani urges Pisces to avoid conflicts at absolutely all costs. The prediction here is that escalating fights could literally lead to imprisonment or forced isolation. Extreme caution is absolutely necessary for you guys.
Part 4. Crucial warnings for women.
We are shifting gears now from the general zodiac impacts to a very specific shelter phase. This is focusing heavily on immediate physical safety during the actual eclipse window itself. Throughout his analysis, Zan out strict guidelines specifically for pregnant women. Because of the sheer length and intensity of this 5-hour and 38-minute eclipse, his advice is to take absolutely zero risks. The steps are crystal clear. Number 1, stay indoors. Number 2, avoid all heavy or essential work. Just let someone else handle it for a day. And number 3, rest completely for the entire duration. Basically, it is a crucial time for caution and preservation.
And finally, Part 5. Finding your protective umbrella. Now, we've spent a lot of time today talking about this impending storm, but Zanjani doesn't just offer doom and gloom warnings. He actually provides a framework for how to navigate these astrological shifts safely. I think this is brilliantly illustrated by one specific quote of his. Jan Grehen ik barishe or hamechatri leni hai. Translated, that means, the lunar eclipse is a rainstorm, and we need to take an umbrella. The eclipse itself is just natural weather, right? It's going to happen. But specific astrological remedies serve as your umbrella, allowing you to walk right through the storm without getting soaked.
So the real question is understanding exactly which umbrella you need. It's out the difference between general zodiac advice and your individual birth chart, known as your Infaradi Jecha. While the general zodiac rules we just went through give you a broad weather forecast, your exact time of birth is what dictates your personalized remedy. Depending on your unique chart, your specific umbrella might be sadqa, which is charity, specific wazaif, like prayers, or even wearing certain gemstones. Which leaves us with this final, really profound thought from the source material. Kya aapko apni takhliq ka sahi waqt maloom hai? Do you know the exact time of your creation? Because according to Zanjani, knowing the exact, precise moment you entered this world is the ultimate key to unlocking the exact protection you need for the cosmic storms ahead. Something to think about, right? Thank you so much for joining us for today's explainer, and we will catch you next time.